Hey toy fans, Rob here, back with a quick haul video for you guys. Now as the beginning of this video and the thumbnail suggests, there will be a Star Trek element to this video coming up, but I wanted to first touch on these Marvel Legends figures that I recently picked up. The same day I picked up Thor Ragnarok from Target, I was able to get these brand new Lizard Wave Marvel Legends figures for $12 each, so I was really happy to be able to score these guys. Of course, I've got Mysterio, the much in demand figure, and I've got Spider-Man Noir, a figure that I've been waiting quite a while to get a release of. I read the original comic, but of course, he was a great feature in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions when he was basically the Batman levels for that game. Looking first here at the Mysterio figure, I really like it, a lot better than I thought I would. He's got some great sculpted detail on his body and on the gauntlets. I do wish that the smoke trail that kind of connect to his legs, I wish that they were actually a different color. I mean, green works, but once you get the dome off of this guy and see what a translucent frosted white plastic would look like, I almost wish that this smoke effect was white, so it looked like Mysterio coming in on clouds of white smoke, kind of like you see in the comics. He's coming in green too, but I think I would have preferred that in white. And since I've given you a bit of the spoiler already, I was lucky enough to be able to find one of the white-headed Mysterio figures. I have yet to hear if there was a printing error in the beginning and that they accidentally, Hasbro or the factories or whoever, made the skull head green instead of white, but this head looks a lot better. As you saw through the dome, it doesn't show through so bad, and then once you have it off, it's nice to just kind of have this partially translucent, ghost-looking skull face. And I don't mind that the snake running through the skull is actually white as well. So, pretty cool-looking piece overall. The cape itself doesn't hinder articulation too badly, and it is actually surprisingly flexible. It's still a little rigid, more than some capes we've had lately, but it's still pretty flexible, and again, that head just looks fantastic. So I'm glad that I was able to get my hands on the brand new Mysterio figure. As for Spider-Man Noir, I've got a couple of thoughts about this guy. One is, I don't care for the pistols that he comes with. I don't normally really think of Spider-Man Noir with pistols anyway. I mean, I know he's used them in the comics, but I don't think I could have done without them, I guess is what I'm saying. But these are the same guns we saw with Chameleon, and maybe they were used earlier than that. I just remember them with Chameleon. And he's got two of them, but he's only got a holster for one. Slides in pretty easily. The guns actually don't fit in his hand as well as they need to. The trigger guard, the hole, is kind of small, and you can't really get his index finger into the hole, so I don't know if it's coming through on camera here, but he doesn't really hold the gun as well as he needs to. He's not actually holding the trigger at all. The other thing about this figure that's a bit of a nitpick for me is the back of him. If you played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, you know that in that game, Spider-Man had a spider emblem on the back of his jacket, and it's just not here. I looked through the Spider-Man Noir comic that I've got. I couldn't find a good shot of the back of his back. Excuse me. I couldn't find a good shot of his back in that comic to prove whether or not it existed in the original character design, but it was definitely there in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and that was a pretty important piece of media for this character. So, was it removed by the time that Spider-Verse happened? I know he wears the trench coat in Spider-Verse more. I just don't really remember seeing comic book evidence of the spider not being there, but since it was there in the game, I would have liked to have seen it on the action figure. The coat itself looks similar to what we got with Nick Fury and Punisher and Phantom X. It seems to be the same, and thankfully it comes off pretty easily. It doesn't hinder articulation, but I think I'll be leaving my Spider-Man Noir without the trench coat. I really like the look without. And then of course we get some Lizard Build-A-Figure wave parts, and these look nice for what they are. I'm still not sure yet if I'm going to get this entire wave. It's an expensive year for Legends, but based on what little bit I've seen so far, I'm not disappointed. Now attaching Mysterio's cape isn't too difficult. There is a peg in the back of the cape. Now mine was warped out of the packaging, pointed upward, so I do have to try a little bit harder on my particular figure to get that lined up with the hole in his back. And I've also noticed that no matter how many times I straighten out the face for this figure, it still wants to turn and look off to the side, either left or right a little bit once the helmet goes on. But once you have that on the figure, you can go ahead and stand him up. It doesn't really weigh him down too bad. And let me go ahead and bring in the Pizza Spider figure, so you can kind of get an idea there of the height difference between these figures. It is worth noting that Spider-Man Noir is probably one of the taller Spider-Man figures that we've received so far, but only ever so slightly. But now let's get to that package I received in the mail. Alright, so we got things cleared out of the way a little bit, but before I get to this package, I forgot to show you guys. Here is a size comparison between the new Hasbro Mysterio and the original Toy Biz Mysterio. And I think the version that I've got may actually be part of the Spider-Man Classics line, but I do believe it's a Toy Biz mold. Let me double check on that. Actually, you know what? As soon as I say that, I look at the bottom of his feet, and I can't make out what the company name is, but as I think about it, this is the Toy Biz version, I'm pretty sure. I think the Hasbro version of this figure was repainted with a metallic green body, so I'm pretty sure this is the Toy Biz version of this figure. You can see the older Mysterio does stand a little bit taller than the newer one, and of course the older one has a darker dome because there used to be a light up function that just doesn't work on this guy anymore, and he has a button on his back that used to make his head rotate around, and you could see a standard Quentin Beck head, or just two different monster variations. Between these two figures, it would have been nice to see, I guess, gold gauntlets, but I have seen him colored that way in the comics before, specifically even during Todd McFarlane's run, so I don't mind it so much. I'm just used to seeing the gold gauntlets and gold boots. So let's go ahead and get these guys out of the way. And now for this package. A friend of mine on Twitter, Sean Smith, actually was selling some Minimate figures, and he gave me the option of picking up some of his Star Trek collection, and I absolutely jumped on it. I've got all of the modern Star Trek Minimate figures, and even one of the old retro ones. Oh, are we hitting something here? But I don't have the... When they re-released Minimates in a smaller size for the Star Trek The Original Series about 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't end up getting all of those minifigures, so I'm now going to be able to add some of these guys to my collection. Okay, I was getting a little bit of resistance. It might have just been the brass buckle there on the back of the envelope. I may not have shown this in a video, however, I'm a big fan of Minimates, and I know some of you who watch me are as well, but Sean suggested that he threw in a surprise in this package too, so let's see what I actually have inside of here. Oh, check that out. Okay, well that's actually really cool. An IDW comic book with the Battle Beast. I actually don't have any of the Battle Beast Minimates, but I've seen them all the time. They actually kind of remind me of the High Evolutionary and his Bestials from the Spider-Man Unlimited cartoon. Tell me you guys in the comments know what cartoon I'm talking about, but this is actually really cool, so thanks a lot, Sean. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. Maybe I'll have to finally pick up some Battle Beast Minimates. Awesome. Alright, well let's see what else we have in this package here. Alright, feels like there's still something inside. I guess it's all still packing. No, we got one more thing. Oh, hey. Well, this isn't so bad either. Okay, so this is for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. Yeah, I was going to say there's 2 other colors that were available. Wasn't this a convention exclusive of some sort? I'm going to have to... Man, I don't know if I want to open this or not. I'm going to think about that one. But I've got a Command Division Red, or excuse me, Engineering Division Red here. Tactical also for the original series. But you can get the Science Blue and the Command Yellow. Just a nice little Enterprise buildable set. Okay, toy fans, I've kept you in suspense long enough. Let's go ahead and get into the heart of this package here, the Minimates that I ordered. Alright, let's see, we've got a Spock minifigure, and we've got, that one's definitely Chekhov, Uhura, Yeoman Rand. I love that they have all of these accessories. And Sulu. Alright, what else do we have here? We've got a couple of Pilot-era phaser rifles, which is nice. Very 1960s looking. And then we have what appears to be a communicator. Yeah, I think that's a communicator for Enterprise. A nice extra inclusion there. All right, so part of the reason I ordered these guys, as I said before, is I already have some Star Trek Minimates, and I wanted to put together what I think is a pretty cool display. So let me get the display, let me get my Minimates, and we're going to take a look at something extra special as we finish this video out. Alright, toy fans, so here's one of my favorite Trek pieces, the Mega Bloks Transporter Room set. And what I love about this set is that it stands in perfect scale with Star Trek Minimate figures. Even though it was made for Mega Bloks minifigures, it is the perfect scale for Star Trek Minimate figures. And I discovered something in between cuts here. The Spock that I got from Sean was actually Spock from the first episode of Star Trek, the pilot episode, The Cage. I already had Captain Christopher Pike, but I did not have Spock from that episode. So thanks for helping me get that duo put together, Sean. But I love the way that these minifigures look in the Transporter Room playset. We've got Yeoman Rand here. I already had the convention-exclusive Captain Kirk with the green tunic, although there is another Kirk that's available in yellow if you prefer. And then, of course, again, Chekhov, Sulu, Uhura, and we have Spock standing here at the controls. I still need to get a Bones, and I still need to get a Scotty. And of course there's a Mega Bloks Star Trek The Original Series bridge set out there, so if I can ever track that down, maybe I'll have a place to put all of the rest of my Star Trek Minimate figures. But that's my haul video for today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I want to give a huge thanks to Sean Smith for throwing in those extra goodies with the Minimates I ordered. You guys can always keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.